What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Expand Podcast with your host, Omar, and co-host, JP, where we talk about what we got going on in our business, what we don't have stuff going on in our business, and why we need to go do some more work to go help more sellers, help more people in general in this business. But yeah, hope you guys have been enjoying our podcasts, and make sure that you guys click that link, subscribe, listen to it, actually get something from it as well. And, give us a great review and share the podcast with your friends, family, and anybody else that you might think will get value out of our podcast. So it's been a crazy, crazy year. I just can't believe, bro, that it's Thanksgiving next year. I don't know where the time
next
went.
week.
I mean, that's what I meant. Next week. I don't know where the time went. It's actually, it's in 8 days. 1 week from tomorrow.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Crazy. It is, November's just tough for me, for sure. It's just, it's been we're giving thanks to everything that we've got, in our life, and giving thanks to the impact that we make, and we're able to inspire, and I think cumulatively, we're doing a good job of that with our team and everything else. But just the year went by so fast. But it goes to show you that if you didn't write anything down for your year, you probably are going to be in the same boat next year.
Elaborate on that. Like, what do you mean write what down?
Like goals, what are you stretching for? Because everybody could just do, the bare minimum and get through life. But when you stretch yourself, it kind of gives you a purpose for life. Does that make sense? It's like, why are you doing the business? Just to make money? Or to see the outcome of others that you help inspire, that you help educate, that you help like guide? Because that's what we are. We're like somewhat guiding lights.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
If you guys remember, Guiding Light was a fucking cool soap opera. Back in the day, my mom used to watch all the time. Just saying. Guiding Light.
I don't think that's in our era.
No, it's in my era, not you guys. Maybe some of you guys will probably laugh when I say, The Young and the Restless, Guiding Light, As the World Turns. It just came out of my head right now because my mom used to watch these soap operas. Anyways, I digress. So
no, I was just gonna say, early in the business, first year that I joined the business, I would say 100% I joined just for the money, and of course, what comes with it, helping people. But yeah, now for 3-4 years later, we kind of, you of course 100% have been in that spot, but I've been able to put myself in a spot where, like you said, we're guiding other individuals, clients, people on our team, and almost like kind of mentoring them on, things that we did and we almost also could have done better. Because I think the best mentor, he teaches his mistakes more than his wins.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, like what you said, if you're not preparing for next year, you're preparing to fail. Yeah,
because that preparing is your GPS. So, we're not getting in our cars and driving aimlessly if we don't know where we're going. You always have a destination. You know that, right? When you get in your car, you always have a destination to go somewhere.
Especially nowadays, I feel like people use Apple Maps, Google Maps for everything.
No, but okay, let's go back a little bit. I mean, it's a good topic. Do you get in your car just to drive? Ever?
No. Actually, yes. But 95, 97% of the
Probably
time.
98 to 99%.
We'll go 99. You're right. 99.9% of the time. There's always, you're getting in the car with purpose.
With the purpose. So then why aren't we like doing work with the purpose? Why aren't we writing things down? Why aren't we legitimately like focusing on where we're going?
It's so funny you say that because this has to do with the topic we're talking about. Last night I was at the gym with Carlos and he introduced me to one of his buddies. He was a great dude, but he said something that threw me off.
What did he say?
He used to work with Carlos at T-Mobile and now he works a charter communications job. And I basically asked him like, what's your name? What do you do? How do you like it? Because me, naturally, I just start qualifying people right away.
All day. Yeah.
And, he explained his job and he said he loves how he can show up every single day and just have to do like mindless work.
Wait, what?
Yeah. He was like, yeah, it's cool, man. You go to work and you don't have to really put any thought to it. You just, they tell you what to do, where to go. You take care of that.
Goddamn
and
sheep.
You leave when, it's time
A
for you to
sheep.
leave. And in my head, I was just like, dude, they got you in the Matrix, bro.
Hey, no lie. You telling me that's a trip.
And me listening, and I was like, hey, Carlos, did you catch that, bro? He was like,
what?
Yeah. I was like, think about what he said, bro. Can we go a day in our job without applying our mind to it? He was like, no. I was like, this guy goes to work every single day because it's a mindless job. I was like, that's like the ultimate definition of an NPC. Great guy. I'm sure you know, but it was just like, I don't know. And that
an NPC, what's that?
An NPC is just like, you're just like a computer character that was just like placed there.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
I've never heard that term.
I don't know if that's a real term. But all I'm saying is like so many people get stuck in like the day-to-day life. And like you said, they're sheep, they're waking up, they're going to work, they're coming home, they're going to sleep, and that's it. There's no plan. There's no purpose. There's no vision. I don't know. That was sad to see.
Hey, that's sad to hear.
And we don't see that because our proximity
warrants something different.
Yeah, we're different, we want more out of our lives.
We're lions, not sheep.
Lions,
Sean
not
Whalen.
sheep.
Let's go.
We're constantly chasing more. Like you said, we're constantly trying to self-develop, ourselves and everyone around us. But then there's some people that are just in their day-to-day not taking control of anything. I don't know. That was mind-blowing to me.
And what's crazy, a lion controls. Think about that for a second. A sheep does not.
The sheep just has to follow the herd.
That's it. And every once in a while, there's one little sheep that goes the other way, but it always gets back to the crew. Yeah. Lions don't. Lions are just like, no, I'm going to fucking hunt. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to go create. I'm going to go create relationships. And I'm taking a full context here. I'm going to go create opportunities. Lions have to go create opportunities. Otherwise, they don't eat. Otherwise, they don't bring food back to their family.
The sheep are just fed.
They're just fed.
And that's why they're in that cycle.
Yes, it's a trip.
It's like when you allow the government to feed you. Kind of, yeah. But anyways.
Hey, I'll let the government feed me. No problem. Section 8. Thank you. Taxpayers. All day.
Yes.
That right there,
yes.
Something different.
100%.
We're utilizing it to supply housing.
It's just crazy. Like, yeah, I don't know. You need to have a purpose. You need to have a vision. You need to have a goal. Like, you need to be chasing something. I don't care what it is, dude. It needs to be something bigger than yourself.
And honestly, this is the other thing that you can add to it. If everybody were to apply their life, or if they're applying their destination to their life, like you getting in your car for a purpose, and that's a weird analogy, I know, but the next time you go into your vehicle, ask yourself, where are you going? You already know, because you're getting in your vehicle to get there. So why aren't we applying that? And that's one thing I want you to correlate. Every time that you create a goal or a vision or something, like you have a place to go. And most of us, a good, industry standard wise, we just show up and hope that we get some leads.
Yeah, I think that goes back to like not having like activity-based goals. I'll use an example of a GPS. Yeah. Yes, you have a GPS that has your final destination, which is your goal, right? Mm-hmm. But for example, as soon as you leave your destination, it's not showing you your destination of where you're going to be. It's showing you the first turn you got to make.
That's it.
The next exit you got to make. The U-turn you got to make. Where so I think people have goals in mind, but they don't really realize what it takes to get to those goals. And that's making the left turn, the right turn, the exit. Like you always say it, when you're in the real estate business, focus on being a good buyer's agent. Mm-hmm. Focus on being a good listing agent. Mm-hmm. Focus on buying the property. There's levels to everything. And I think there's also levels to achieve your goals. Mm-hmm. And it goes back to like that one quote with like the boy and the horse in the forest. He didn't know where to go. And the horse told him all you have to do is like look down and take one step forward. And a lot of the times we just get blinded by the destination when you just have to focus on like the next turn.
Yeah, that's it. Because
you talk about it all the time. Like just you know, you're focused on being like a real estate investor, but you haven't even done like 20 buyer deals. So
it's true. Yeah, I mean, I mean, we can go on and on about all of this, and you know, I brought up last all of our meetings and stuff. We always bring up, or I always bring up, like I have the transition from 2017 goals that I laminated, you know, to 2023, and it's a trip to see because you write them down and they're so small in the beginning. Then you start stretching your mind a little bit more. You start stretching what's possible. And it's because the proximity of people that you're around, you start stretching. If you stayed stagnant or you stayed with the person that has only made a certain amount of money, and you know what? Forget the money. If you stayed around the person that only has learned so much, that's all you're going to learn. But then when you ask other people and when you're around other people, you start like, oh, I'm capable of doing that, if not more. Because now you start, this is the cool part. Now you start thinking of like, well, if this person can do it with his skill, I can for sure do it with my skill. And that's how we literally range it, or that's how we compare. Because you think that, you know, at 24 years old, you're gonna be 25 here pretty soon. It's pretty cool. You also think that, hey, there's some 25-year-olds or 24-year-olds that are nowhere near you.
yeah.
But then there's some 24-year-olds that are like, damn.
That was, yeah, completely run
Right.
circles. Yeah. I think it's all perspective, what you choose to focus on,
Right.
you know? I think I look at those 24, 25-year-olds that I'm way past mentally, you know, spiritually, and never financially, never whatever realm you want to consider it. It's not to necessarily say that I'm better than that person, but it's more a reminder of like, if I did not maximize on the opportunities that I had, I would have still been there. So I think that's a good way for me to kind of look at that. And then of course the other 24-year-olds that are absolutely smashing, you know, because there's people that are. Mr. Beast is a perfect example.
Jesus, I know. That's the exception.
I think it's more of just like, okay, you know, they're just doing things that I'm not right now. And I just need to learn on how to capitalize the opportunities that they did. So I think there's a healthy correlation between like looking at the people that, you know, are not there and looking at the people that are way past there.
True. And, you know, you're running your own race. So it's not theirs to run. It's not yours to run their race either. So we just got to go through our, you know, put one foot in front of the other, like you said earlier. So, yeah. I know we were on this topic about, you know, goal setting and this, that, and the other. Question for you. Have you written down your goals?
I've started them. I've written down my health goals and my like personal goals, and I've started like my financial goals. Haven't finished them yet.
Cool. Will you finish them before the end of the year?
They'll most likely be finished like before December.
Okay.
Like, yeah, December 1st, like they'll be finished. Cause like December 1st is like, I believe like we say in fourth quarter, the work starts for the new year. But I believe like December is like when the new year really starts.
Yeah, because it sets you up for January.
Yeah. So yeah, no, they'll be done by December. And I like to have activity-based goals. Like I have goals, but a lot of my goals are like activity-based.
Explain that.
For example, I can say that, you know, I want to run a marathon next year. But me running a marathon is like essentially the goal, but I can have an activity that correlates to that goal.
Yeah, like run a 5K,
which is
a 3.5 mile race, 3.2 miles,
or something as simple as like making sure that I'm, you know, getting in 10 miles a week. And once I'm able to do that, I'm now graduating to like the next step. So that's what I would say by like activity-based goals. For example, if we're going to do X amount of revenue next year with 60-minute cash offer, I know I have to close X amount of deals and go on X amount of appointments.
Right.
So I have like appointment goals, contract goals, you know, goals that I'm able to measure, not just say, oh, that's what I want to do.
That's cool. That's funny because, you know, one of my goals obviously is to add another 15 to 20 units for 2024.
That's awesome.
And I have four different scenarios. Obviously, make more money top line, go create some more, to reinvest, or take the already existing units, 1031 exchanging them into, an 8 or a 9 unit. I can take 2 or 3 of my properties, 4 of my SFR, single family residences, do some 1031 exchanges, and then maybe with those 4 units, I can go get 10 or 12, right? And then do it again one more time for the year. And at that point, I give up 4 units, but I can potentially gain, 18 to 20, which hopefully makes more money, even if it's a little bit extra and net profit, take home. But with this newfound avenue of, U.S. Housing Authority with Section 8, it's great. Like, you're able to cash flow.
So would you say that you'll just be adding 15 to 20 doors, or you'll probably be replacing 1 door with 4?
Still adding.
Okay. But because you did that a little bit this year too, right?
I did.
You sold like 2 doors to gain 12?
I sold 4 lots and 2 houses. So 4 lots, 2 houses to gain 15 doors.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
And that was this year, cost segregated them, et cetera, but we don't have to talk about that. We will in another episode or something like that, where we get more taxes. Maybe in December, like, hey, that's it. So are you guys done with all of your, claiming your money? Because when you get the CPA to tell you, hey man, don't make any more money this year. That means you have to prolong all of your checks that you receive for the following year. So your tax consequence isn't as high. I had a couple times that, he said that.
My tax lady told me I should either get married or have kids.
That's, of course, the easiest way to avoid taxes, but she doesn't know the other route. So, because you don't need to, the savings of getting married and having kids isn't that substantial. Really? It really isn't.
Even when they're like fully dependent on you?
No.
Oh, okay. Anyways,
that's already gonna be.
Sorry, ladies.
Anyway. No, but I'm just. But honestly, a building will create more of a.
Yeah.
I hate to say it in that context of like, don't get married, go buy a building, cost segregate the building, and get a whole shitload of write-offs that'll pay you more than getting married.
Yeah, but this is a expand business mindset podcast, not a marriage podcast. So that's why.
Not marriage counseling whatsoever. We have all of our own issues, I think, all of us in general. So yeah.
When it comes to next year's goals, I've definitely started them. I think one of the I guess you could say financial goals is I will make $250,000 next year.
Yes,
and I want to have $50,000 capital to be able to deploy into a fund or a couple of flips, something that I'm able to earn some interest on. And like you said earlier, I turn 25 next month, and I feel like
the 16th
from 14th.
14th. Damn it.
So I turned 18, which was like, oh shit, you're 18 now. It's cool. And like 19 and 24 all felt the same. Because at 19, I had a fake ID. I was, with a woman that was like 9 years older than me. I was already living that 21-year-old life. Uh-huh. So it's like 19 the same, 20 the same, 21 the same, 22, 23, 24. And now I'm like turning 25. It's a quarter century. I'm not a kid anymore. I could rent a car. Like
after 21, yeah.
No, 25 is the age to rent a car.
Oh, is it really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's cool. My health insurance is not going to be free anymore. So, life's getting serious.
That's so funny.
So if I can make $250,000, my first quarter century, well, I will. That'd be awesome.
Win.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool. That's good. So that being said, that's a goal of yours. Make $250,000. Mm-hmm. Break it down into months. 20. What
it's
is
like
that?
22,000.
22,500.
Yeah, 22,500 a month.
22,500 a month. How many contracts do you need for that? Just reverse engineer it.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty obtainable.
100%.
You're gonna find out that it's a low goal, because your goal of $500K will stretch you, and you'll probably make more than a quarter. The quarter it'll stretch you, and you might say you do fall short, but you fall short at $1.70. $160.
You heard it here. $500,000.
It'll stretch you because
No, yeah, I like that.
the $500,000
Because that number is
JP
just like, whoa.
exactly right. It seems stretch. It's like it stretches you.
Yeah,
Dang, that's 40,000 a month.
yeah. We're doing like 300-400K a month with 60 MCO. We're good.
Yeah, we're gonna be okay.
We're chilling.
Yeah. No, we're not chilling. We're creating momentum
Yes, correct.
for the other goal that we have.
Yes.
It's gonna be scary when I share all the goals that I have, which we'll have a little like a, something that we're gonna write down and everything else and share. And it's funny, the minute you do say it to someone, it like becomes real. Like, oh damn, I just said that we're gonna make X. Oh crap. Like, what are you gonna do now?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, importance of goal setting.
They need to scare you.
It's gotta scare you. If you don't want it to scare you, that's fine. Just say that you're gonna go buy a house, buy a car, go to 2 vacations a year, go out every, week for dinner. Those are normal goals.
Yeah.
They don't really scare many people though.
Who had a goal of going to F1 this year though?
Yeah. You gotta bring that up, huh?
I just felt like it was a perfect intro.
Yeah. So we are going to F1 this weekend. We leave actually tomorrow. Today is opening day. Tomorrow is the first practice at 8:30 p.m. in Vegas. We kind of went over a little bit, meaning like we were very emotionally
You got
invested.
caught up in the hype.
I got caught up with emotion, okay?
And in the
Never
hype.
justified by logic at all. It was more of like, hey, let's go experience the first time in Vegas.
I remember when
for
you
F1.
bought those too.
Yes, yeah. So long story short, the value of those tickets have substantially dropped, but it is what it is. But the value of the experience that's going to happen this weekend is priceless. Well, actually, no, it's not priceless. It does cost money to have these experiences, but let's just say that.
You want to run them through some numbers?
No,
quick?
I'm not going to. It's okay. No numbers are going to get ran. Let's just say we made an investment and the investment is not the same. Just for context, the value of the tickets have dropped about 60% from the value of once purchased. And that's all I'm going to say. So you spend, as an example, we buy houses, okay? $100,000 house is now worth $40,000. That gives your context of what the value of the tickets are now, because everyone thought it was going to be the biggest. Like, they all thought it was going to be Super Bowl. They all thought it was going to be the World Series. That they all thought it was going to be that kind of like path or that kind of event.
F1 is cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like.
No. This is the thing where the marketing aspect of it, I think, tanked in some sense, but maybe it didn't, because I was caught up in that, that
Yeah, they got
avenue.
you.
But I'll tell you this. I think that the barrier of entry in the very beginning was too high. If the barrier of entry to go to the grandstand was reasonable for people that are listening to go buy a ticket for, $30, $50, $100 to see, just to be in the grandstands, one thing. But the barrier of entry in the very beginning was $2,000 for grandstand tickets. $2,000.
That's like the basic ones?
That's just for you to see in the grandstands. But then you still have your cost of your room, plus the
transportation,
the food and everything else. So it's not like the Super Bowl. Super Bowl tickets were for sure, 2, 3, 4, 5K. But you're in an environment where everybody else is going to be there too. There's food already there. You just have to get there. But that's it. This is something totally different that no one's really experienced here in the States. Not unless you went to, freaking F1.
And this is the first time in Vegas, so you really don't know how it's going to be. But nevertheless, he's going to F1.
Yeah. We're going to F1. We'll be there tomorrow through the end of the weekend. Should be a good time. Should be an adventure with 2 little girls, my lady, my boy Adrian and his family and
Did
my
you?
brother.
Is Ryan
Yeah.
going?
He might. Yeah. He might.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see how this turns out. But yeah, just it's one of those experiences that we're paying for.
Just go spend the money, guys.
Don't go spend the money unless you have the resources to get there. Sorry. Like I will.
Or if you have not necessarily the resources, or if you have the ability to go ahead and go create more. That's
the thing. Most people don't have the creativity or the opportunities to go create that loss.
Yeah. See, someone like me, I don't have a family, I don't have kids.
You
Like
can.
I just need to make sure I have my rainy day fund, and that's good. And I'm able to put my back against the wall in
All the time.
times
Yeah.
to go create more. Perfect example was before fourth quarter started.
Mhm.
I paid all of my bills for
the year.
the year, like mortgage, car payment, insurance, like everything. Only utilities were like coming in and stuff. And I like basically cleared my account, and Carlos asked me like why I did that. And I was like, so I could like have no choice but to go create more.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, dang, bro, that's so wild to hear, because like the average person that shame against you, that works a 9 to 5, that has a fixed income, can't go do that.
No.
I just need to go have good conversations, and I can create thousands of dollars.
And think about that.
That's nuts.
Create conversation. Go have good conversations to create deeper connections, to create deeper discounts, but ultimately help and find the solution for that person's situation. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all we could do. And that's when I say that's all we could do, we could always do more, but that is the start of you having the ability to go create more income. It's funny. Carlos said, like, dude, we were talking about this on the way out yesterday. With the house, the boat, the multiple properties and stuff. Not that it's a big deal, but I'm like, deeper conversations created me these opportunities. Honestly. And an abundant mindset has too, where it's like, I can't afford it, so I'm going to go make sure I can go make more money to afford it. Not live within my means, but no, stretch me.
Or you just swipe the Amex, so you have no choice but to go afford it.
True, but you still have to pay it off.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. No, you're 100% right. I
What's
think
above my door all the time?
when your commitments grow, your income grows. And I'm be honest, like I think you've ingrained that in me way too much. Because
I know. You should check out all of his shoes that he has all of a sudden. Increasing commitments, buying this, buying that. It's like, all right, bro.
You know what it
all
is,
right,
though?
bro.
But it's like, he's right. I've, past couple of months been, actually, no, besides shoes, I haven't really bought myself anything besides recently bought myself a really expensive mountain bike. But I feel like it goes back to like that one thing, me having a thicker beard and nicer shoes.
Oh, gosh,
it's an investment in me to go create more top line revenue, baby.
That's true. I mean, and any type of sign that we have like good conversations or good success or, damn, I'm on a roll right now. We feel that way. We don't want to mess that up. So if we're superstitious about something, JP is for sure superstitious right now because he's accounting it to his beard growing. He has better conversations because of his beard, or actually because someone will say, hey, you're a handsome dude. I like your beard. Oh, and that's it. He's going to keep the beard because now he can have that better confidence. Whatever floats your boat. Honestly, that's just how it works.
Yeah. I was at the bank yesterday. This lady behind me taps me on the shoulder. She's like, hey, I'm sorry to bother you, but I just have to tell you, you just look so well put together and perfect, like your hair with your beard. And like I had my little, fanny pack on. I was just looking like a stud. She made my day. So I was like, you know what? I'm doing something right and I'm going to keep doing it. So
no, what it is, he's vibrating on a different level.
Yes.
That's what it is. Okay. Forget about the beard, forget about the attire. If you're vibrating, it doesn't matter what you wear. Because sometimes you're like, I just threw this on and it's like, I'm developing an aura. I have an aura about me, right? Because we are vibrating on a different level.
And that's
And that's where
because,
it's at because of your proximity.
proximity. And that's because I think for the first time, I've been in the business for 3 years now. And this past year, I told you yesterday, I think I've grown the most in a way that's like truly served me.
Yeah.
And you're right. I have been vibrating at a different level.
For sure.
And that's because I'm in like complete alignment with the people around me.
100%.
I don't care to have like the tough conversation. If we need to address something to help us grow more,
We've had the tough conversations.
I'm willing to do it, so I think that's a big, big reason. And something that I've noticed and reflected on just for my own business. I've had a lot of success in my business, and then I've had like downfalls, which,
Peaks and valleys.
peaks and valleys. And for the first time, I feel like I'm on a peak that I'm in control of. It's going to continue to rise, providing that I continue to put the work in.
Right. And honestly, it's because the work that you put in. But most people, as an example, if you guys are watching, you have a peak, right, of closing escrows and having good conversations, and all of a sudden you get a bunch of money, right? But then you sit there and use that money and not do the same activities that got you to this peak, then your valley's super, super low.
But the
right?
proximity we have right now is allowing me to keep the activity
going.
Yep.
Plus the valley isn't as low.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there's a diagram where if your peak is here, then your valley, right? But then you're peaking again, then your valley, but the trajectory is still upwards
100%
versus level.
Yeah. And I'll say it, guys, stop pouring into cups that have a hole at the bottom. I did it for a long time. I wasted a lot of time and a lot of money. And that's all I got to say.
Explain that real quick. What do you mean about pouring into something or someone that has a hole at the bottom?
Essentially, when you're filling up a cup, let's just say it's with value, this cup, for example, the more I fill it up, it's going to continue to fill,
Right.
And in my personal experiences, I pour into everyone that essentially is around me. And a lot of the times we kind of expect them to just recognize the value that we are pouring into them. And not realizing justification, not realizing that they haven't done enough self-development themselves
to receive it.
Yeah. To receive it and reciprocate what they're receiving.
Right.
So I think that comes back down to like being in alignment. Mm-hmm. A lot of dead weight has removed itself from the past year. From the office, but from my personal life. I'll be honest, No, my relationships have changed the most this past year, and people that I thought I was going to do life with are strangers today, and I'm at complete peace with that. Because the people that are in my life today, don't
have a hole at the bottom of their cup.
And if they do, they come to me and they talk to me about it. They don't hide behind a curtain and act like a little mija. And pretend to be someone in a different group and pretend to be someone else in a different group. There's authenticity, there's vulnerability, and like I said, alignment. If someone does have a hole at the bottom of their cup in this office, I trust that they're going to come to me and be like, hey man, this is what I'm struggling with. Help me patch it up.
Oh yeah, all day.
You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, I do.
Dead weight removes itself, providing you let it.
And that's the big thing, providing that you let it, because I'm a person that I've been doing this a long time, and I pour into a lot of people. I've poured into a lot of people, and a lot of the people that I poured into are no longer here. And it's like, okay, well, at least you got some information out of me. Mm-hmm. You got some knowledge. Hopefully you've taken it, you've applied it, and you are helping yourself, and you're, paying it forward with helping somebody else going through this process or going through the challenges of real estate. But what's crazy is that everyone that I've poured into, I don't want to say that it's, they're doing any better and leaving, because I don't see it that way, and not because of my own ego.
They're not. And if you are, please come tell me and come show me, because I don't see shit. Sorry if that was low.
And that was, that's straightforward. But you know what, though? Everybody has their path. I mean, there's been a few people that have left and they've grown, which is even awesome. And I've congratulated them, and I've, pushed out like, hey, you're doing a phenomenal job. It's good to see. I'll be the first one to tell you, because it's a hard business. But the problem is, you might be okay for 6 months, a year, a couple of years, but after the dust settles, right, in this changing market, this is exactly when you need to level up your skill set in this changing market. Earlier it was easy. Yeah, you leave when the appreciation's up. You're not going to fail for now. And that's the big difference.
There's this quote. It's like, when the tide falls, we shall see who was swimming naked.
100%. Yeah. And it's there. I mean, and not to say that we're not going to at some point swim naked, because shit, we make investments. We just go all out. You say you have your back against the wall. You don't have a family. As long as your bills are covered and everything else. It's a little more challenging when you have a family, but you still do it, because when people aren't willing to do that, this is where you can gain market share. Call me stupid. I'm risking, when that saying, burn the boats. Don't give yourself any other opportunity not to succeed.
Isn't there a book called Burn the Bridges?
No, it's just Burn the Boats by
I
Tony
think
Robbins, bro.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Tony Robbins says this, and I'm a big Tony Robbins fan. And when you burn the boats, you give yourself no other option. You're on an island. You have no other way to succeed. You get to that island, you burn the boat. Then you have to succeed. And
it's also a
legit
book, Burn the Boat. So I'm assuming Tony Robbins referenced the book written by Matthew Higgins. But yeah, you got to burn boats. And if they're sinking, you got to let them sink. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. And sometimes sinking, or sometimes the boat that's sinking, is a family, is a friend, is people that you thought were going to be with you this whole time. And sometimes you just have to say, you know what? It's cool. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. And I'll end it with, when these people, let's just say, exit out of your life or walk out of your life, or, you guys split paths, you're going to feel a moment of like almost feeling lost and not knowing what to do, because you're so used to having
that fat around you. Yeah.
That, doing business with this person, doing life with this person, because you in your head painted like this vision, moving forth. But
that vision's not for everyone, though. That's yours.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But going into what I was going to say is, like, I've realized that I have far more abilities than I thought I did. And the only reason I was able to discover those is because, this person was necessarily not there anymore to do that part of it. I had to go out and create it myself. So, yeah, I mean, this year's been amazing to me. Can't wait to turn 25.
Next year, baby.
Yeah.
Yep, 2024, you're 25, and, you're shooting for that $500,000 mark.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Guys, I hope you got some information, some nuggets out of this. I'm sure you have. I know it wasn't, excuse me. No, it wasn't, everybody will hear what they need to hear with the information that's provided. So if this was for you and you heard something that's going to trigger something in you, perfect. If you heard something that's not going to trigger anything for you, then perfect. It doesn't matter, because next week is going to be another episode, and maybe then you'll hear something that will trigger something. And guys, sometimes we have to hear something 5-6 times before we make a decision, before we actually implement something. I'm on 2 or 3 different books that I'm reading and I'm listening to and I'm referencing, and it's not sinking in yet. But sometimes, guess what? That one day that you're going to allow that information to sink in, and then you're going to be able to make that decision and implement what you've learned, because that's what we talk about. We have to execute on the information that we receive. So I hope this helps. Please like our podcast, subscribe to it, give us a great rating, and share it with others that might get some value out of this. So yeah, I appreciate it, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
If you do share it, please tag us. Means a lot. Take care. Come here.
Peace.